Alright, so in a previous video, you can check the link below. We actually saw how to analyze this data using some functions. Alright, so a function called SumIf. Alright, but in less than a minute or two, I want to quickly show you how to analyze the same data using the pivot table. Alright, so this is the same data. All I just need to do is click on summarize or pivot table. Right? It says it has recognized the table. That's table 2. Alright, then where exactly do you want to place the pivot table report? Since my data is not much, I want to put it in the same or existing worksheet. So I'll click on this and select any empty cell and click on this collapse button again. Now all I need to do is click on OK and my pivot table is out. Now if I click on the pizza type column or option under the field list, it sends it directly to the rows field. Now remember, if for you to understand the value of what we've just done in less than 5 seconds, for us to be able to get the unique pizza types, we have to copy manually, paste, then use the remove duplicate function under the data type. But with the pivot table, it helps do all that in one action. Alright, so we can quickly see the names of the unique pizza types. All I need to do next is push the unit sold all the way to the values field, alright, without writing any formula. Also, I need a total sales as well. I need to push it to the values table angle, and it shows me the sum total for the individual pizza types. Now, with this, we've done a simple introduction to what our pivot table can do for us in less than 5 minutes. Alright, so kindly watch the previous video. Remember, the link is in the description below, and compare with what we've just achieved using the pivot table. Now in part 2 of this video, I'll be using another data set. So let me call up the data set. Yep, so on this data set, I just want to do the same thing all over again. Now, but in this data set, we have more records. So let's go Control Shift down, Control Shift down. Takes us to the very last record in this data set, and that's about 5,000. Wow! So we have a whole lot to work with. All right, so let's go back up. Now, what exactly do I want to do with this data? Like we did the previous time, I'm going to select this, click on copy, come here as well, and paste it. So let me go ahead and paste. Alright, but I don't want the repetitions, I just want unique pizza types. Alright, so all I need to do is switch to the data tab, come to the data tools group of command, then click on remove duplicates. It has identified the column with the column header pizza type. Then go ahead and click on OK. Yes. So it has run through your 5,000 records, and it has identified 4,984 duplicate values, and it has also removed them, leaving us with 16 unique values. So I'll click on OK. Now the next thing is to put in some labels. So I would say units sold. I want to know the number of units sold per pizza type, and the total sales per pizza type. Alright, so with this, remember, if your label spills over, you don't need to drag. Most people drag, but the fastest way is just to double click the borderline to adjust it. Now I need to format this just like we did in a previous video. Switch back to your home tab, click on the format painter. Now click and drag to cover both of them. Now for the margarita, I'm going to use a different function now called the CountIf function. So I'll say CountIf. Alright, so what exactly am I counting? What's the range? Go into this, always remember, is the parent pizza type column you click to represent your range. Now, what's the criteria? You come to the pizza type, the one with what's it called, removed duplicates from. Then you click on the one you want to work with and you press enter. Now it's telling me there are about 293 units of margarita pizzas sold. Now in the previous video as well, I showed you how to use the fill handle. All you need to do is click and pull down. Now you can also do something like this, click and pull down since it's not much. Now with your Control D, it sends it down as well. All right, so there are just different ways of achieving the same results. All right, but for me, I would rather go for what's it called? Let me undo that. A faster method, instead of clicking and dragging, you can double click on the autofill handler, all right, and it sends it down, just in case you're working with maybe thousands of rows and all that. So clicking and dragging might be a problem. So double clicking is always what faster. Now we need to use the SumIf function here. Remember to start off with your equal to SumIf. Now what's the range? The range is this column. Now what's the criteria? The criteria is margarita. What's your sum range? Your sum range is column C. Now go ahead and hit the enter button. Now we can do the same thing as well. Just double click the fill handle and it sends everything down. Now I can also quickly format my field. Yes, quickly format my field and make it currency as well. Or better still, since we have one already formatted, so use the format painter. I'm actually doing this so for many people to know how to use the format painter. All right, now with this I think we're good to go. Let me also format. Do I need to do that? Yes. Okay, let me just do this and give it borders. So I could come here and say I need some borders. So all borders. Yep. All right, good. So this is better now. Now I can readily tell the pizza shop owner or the owner of the pizza shop the number of units of specific pizzas that have been sold for that particular day. Now I can also sum up. Remember, there's a keyboard shortcut for the sum function is Alt equal. All right. So with the Alt equal, Excel looks up the number columns and sums them up for you. All right. Press your enter and it tells us 5,000. Remember when we checked, we saw that we had 5,000 rows of information. And with this, everything sums up toward 5,000. So we're good to go. Remember, Alt equal is a keyboard shortcut for the sum function. Now hit your enter button and you're good to go. So I can readily tell the owner that they sold 5,000 units of pizzas and they've raked in about 11 million naira for the day. All right, now look at how long it took us to achieve all this. Yep, we had to use two functions, CountIf function, SumIf function. With the help of the pivot table, all we need to do is to go ahead with the word analysis without writing a single formula. Yeah, I like to change the name of my table, so I'll call this the pizza sales table. Enter. Now look at this portion where it says summarize with what the pivot table. Click on that. Now, just for us to be able to compare notes, I'll click on existing worksheets. Click on this collapse button. Go ahead and choose somewhere around here, column K. Click on the collapse button again and click on what? OK. Now, with this, I can quickly analyze my data. So all I need to do is click on the pizza type. For beginners, you can click and drag to rows. All right. So I'll do this. I'll be having a more detailed lesson or tutorial on the pivot table where we'll talk extensively on the pivot table and other features surrounding the pivot table. Now look at this. When I click on the unit price, all right, the first operation is to perform a sum total for all the sales. I'm going to click on the unit price again and let's drag it this time around, rather drag it to the top. So let me scroll to my right we have the same values. Now there's an arrow, a drop down arrow on the very first sum of units for the calculations we've done. Click on that drop down, then go ahead and click on value field settings. Now we want to change the function from sum to count. We want it to perform a count operation. All right, so you can change the custom name if you want, but let's just work with all defaults for now. Click on OK. Now whoops, we've achieved the same thing in less than a minute. Now the good thing about using your pivot table is that after removing duplicates for you, it sorts in an ascending order the values in your table for you, unlike when we did it manually. We can actually sort this ourselves. All right, but with the pivot table, we don't have to bother ourselves with doing sorting and any other form of operations like duplicates, removal, and all that. Now it also sums up. So can you see we have 5,000 here, and we have also 5,000 here as well. It tells us that we have 11,214 million, and we're good to go. All right, so I'm only using this as an intro to the pivot table. So in my next video on pivot tables, I'll be talking extensively on the pivot table and how to use the pivot table for data analysis. All right, so if you like this video, kindly click on the like button, and if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you get alerted when I post new videos. And that is a wrap for today. Thank you and God bless.